Welcome to 3 Steps to Landing Your Dream Job. This program is a collaboration between the Barrett Group and the Business Coaching of Northern California. The Barrett Group is an executive search firm that has assisted career changers across many industries for more than 25 years. They have a 90% success rate and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Business Coaching of Northern California partners with the Barrett Group to provide clarity coaching to their clients, helping them to realize their strengths, determine their vision for their dream job, and create a personal strategic plan. We've combined the expertise of both organizations to create an online program for job seekers who are looking for a more self-paced, do-it-yourself approach. In this online program, we'll cover the first step, ready. Once you've prepared yourself for your search, the next step is to take aim, to understand how to target the published and unpublished job markets, to create your marketing plan, and learn how to respond to inquiries. The third step, bullseye, takes you through working with recruiters, the interview process, and negotiating your package. We'll also share options to dive deeper and get more personalized one-to-one help along the way. I'm Julie Mathern, a Focal Point business coach and part of the Northern California team. I also provide clarity coaching for the Barrett Group clients. I help business owners, executives, and their teams become more productive, profitable, and higher performing. I also have over 25 years of experience in management and marketing in both the public and private sectors. We're at point 3 of the Ready program, writing a great resume. So how many resumes have you read or written in your lifetime? The Barrett Group has read and written literally hundreds of thousands of resumes. They know what works and what does not. You want to create a resume that will attract attention to your merits, and that's focused. And that is the focus of this session. Our expert today is Dan Resendes of the Barrett Group. He's a senior vice president, where he's worked for the past 13 years leading a team of career coaches to assist their clients in achieving career success. Dan brings over 30 years of business leadership experience to their clients and executive consulting team. Prior to joining the Barrett Group, Dan served as COO, Regional VP, Regional Director, District Manager, and Executive Recruiter. Dan's expertise as an interview coach, career advisor, and executive recruiter provides their clients with an insider's perspective for navigating a successful career change initiative. So here's a quick question. Do employers actually read resumes anymore? Or are we simply sending resumes into a digital black hole? Well, the answer is yes and no. Large companies will use technology to screen resumes for keywords and content, but the good news is that small and mid-sized companies will still read them. So what are the Barrett Group's top tips for candidates seeking to improve their resumes? Let's take a look.
The most important thing that you can have on a resume is the results that you've produced. Far more important than just the things that you've done. The results that you produced, as well as the core competencies and skills that you have, also your academic credentials, as well as how you align the background that you have and the experiences that you have with the job opportunity. Many people will just use the exact same resume to apply to all different types of jobs. It's extremely important to tweak that resume so the reader sees you as a perfect fit.
All right, so you want to list the results that you've achieved. You want to make sure you highlight your core competencies and skills, your academic credentials, and you need to align those elements to the job opportunity. Let's take a little deeper look at that. The question is, should you have more than one resume? And hopefully you're getting the idea that absolutely you should have more than one resume. And if you use just one resume for all of your opportunities, you increase the risk that your application will be rejected as not a good fit, being either too broad-based or potentially under or overqualified. So you want to take 10 minutes to delete all the content in your value proposition, skills, competencies, and academic credentials, which are outside of the accountabilities and qualifications of the job, and you need to add in all of those which precisely align with the opportunity. When you do this, you'll make a huge positive impact on what we call your application to interview ratio. And that is ultimately the goal that you have. You want to increase those numbers of interviews per numbers of applications that you're sending out. So let's take a look at an example resume. And I'm wondering what your first impressions might be. At first glance, it's very wordy, and the skills or the focus of the person don't really stand out. It's not clear what job title they're seeking or what they're qualified for. Perhaps the only thing on the plus side here is that it's very clear what their name and contact information is. You would be surprised how many people will forget to put their contact information on the resume. So, what should a resume look like in today's modern search world?
First thing you want to do is make sure that your resume looks unique. 95% of all the resumes out there are written in either Arial or in Times New Roman. You want to choose a font that's slightly different. I prefer Arial Narrow because it's an easily readable font and it's condensed, so you can fit a lot of information on a resume if you need to. The next thing you should do is always use a resume that is in Microsoft Word, and I would avoid PDFs. A lot of computers struggle with reading and comprehending PDFs. And also, if you're going to be dealing with executive recruiters, they're less likely to shop you around because they cannot sanitize or remove information from your resume if they want to shop you around confidentially to clients and hoping that they would entice them for an interview.
Great. So the key points are to be distinct using a different format and font, slightly different. We will be talking about a precise template that you want to use moving forward. You want to use Microsoft Word and not a PDF, and you want to make sure your contact information is present. So let's take a look at the template that the Barrett Group uses with their clients. So at the top, we have your name and contact information. The title that you're seeking. You don't want to put on your resume what you've done in the past. The title should be the title that you're seeking. They've got a nice highlight section here, a slightly larger font that's broken up by some bullet points, really easy for somebody to quickly see the highlights that you have to offer. Next, you have your executive summary, and this is a brief 1 or 2 paragraphs that summarizes everything that's going to be listed in the full breadth of your experience. The competencies are in a nice bulleted list, easy to see, easy to read. And then in the body where you're showing your work experience, you want to put your accomplishments in terms of results or measurable outcomes and use action verbs such as you grew, you managed, you influenced to demonstrate what you've done. Here's another example using that same sort of template with a slight variation. They're using some color. There's a tagline at the top. They have a URL so somebody could actually look into more of their experience if wanted. But it does follow the same overall template flow. So you need to get past the ATS or applicant tracking system. The reality is that there's a 90+% chance that your target employer uses an ATS. Now, they may not be a large company that's screening every application that way, but chances are they will be submitting your candidate into some sort of database, and they're going to use that to analyze against your job description. And what we know is that the parsing tools used by these programs really work best with Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word is universal and nearly everyone has a copy of it, and most corporations have standardized on it. And the last thing that you want is for your resume to be discarded simply because it doesn't comply with the system that employers and recruiters are using. You don't want to put barriers into that place and end up in the trash bin. So let's take a little deeper look at the robots that are reading your resumes, and there are some do's and don'ts. So the do's include using keywords from the job description in your resume. I mean, that's what they're screening against. You want your contact information at the top, but not in the header. This is a field that's not as easy to access. You want to use an executive summary with bullet points of your qualifications. And you do want to use web standard fonts, things like Arial and Helvetica. You don't want the system not to have the font that your resume is in so it becomes unreadable. You also want to follow best practices for your experience, and this would be the employer's name, your title, and the years you worked there. You need to use proper capitalization and punctuation. You want to spell check your resume and upload it into the system rather than copy and pasting if that's at all possible. The don'ts are you don't have to adhere to a one-page format if it doesn't work for your work experience. The computers don't care how long your resume is. You don't want to use fancy formatting or abbreviations such as MGR for manager. Uh, if you're not using a standard abbreviation, it could be not seen and not captured by the robot that's looking at the resume for those keywords. You don't want to use tables or graphics or logos, and you don't want to put information in the headers or footers. Again, this is a part of a document that's not necessarily accessed by a robot. And then you don't want to submit it as a PDF. PDFs often have metadata or other formatting things that a machine is not good at reading. So, to summarize, these are the great attributes of a resume or a great resume. You need to make sure your contact information is present, and you want to be memorable with clean, crisp, distinct font, and you want to be concise with some bulleted lists so your competencies stand out. You want to show your accomplishment in terms of results or measurable outcomes, and you must align your skills and accomplishments with the job requirement that you are applying to. So, again, if you're interested in some personalized support, the Barrett Group does actually offer a 60-minute resume consultation. And this is a one-to-one meeting with a senior Barrett Group career consultant for only $199. And you can go to our Career Change Shopify site to sign up to get a resume consultation. Our next session will be on perfecting your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn has become the de facto reference for all job seekers and employers, checking references and collecting background information. And as a tool for employment and promotion, LinkedIn offers a huge number of opportunities, both to gain and lose. This session introduces some of the most important aspects of having an effective and professional LinkedIn profile. Thank you for your time.